the Harry Potter series. I mean, it's a hard one to answer because I love to read, but if I had to think of one where I just couldn't put down, read cover to cover, would definitely have to be the Harry Potter. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Especially now that I have a little girl at home, this is a really fun book that we read together. It's colorful, it rhymes, and we're learning our alphabet at the same time. So we love to kind of look at all the pictures and read the story together. And this is the oversized edition. That's really fun too because of the illustrations. When I was a child, especially on sick days when I was home, I'd always beg my mom that we would go and rent a movie, and I liked old movies, old musicals. Not the typical Disney movies that most of the kids like or request. So out of all those, Singing in the Rain is my absolute favorite. But I also like Hello Dolly, Showboat, The King and I, a couple others, but this one is my favorite. I think I was a sophomore in high school. I went to the driving range with my dad, and surprisingly, I was able to hit the ball off the tee, which was a big deal to my dad. So he suggested, why don't you try out for the girls' golf team? And there really weren't too many girls that golfed, so pretty much everyone made the team. But, I practiced, and, really enjoyed it and played all then through my senior year, played golf, even did a couple tournaments, thought about playing in college, but it just became a little bit too demanding with schoolwork. So I ended up not playing college, but still play, for fun with my dad. And surprisingly, my husband did not golf. He was never a golfer, so I have taught him how to golf as well, which is fun. It's something, we can continue to do together. I have two sisters, and when we were all pretty young, my dad took us skiing for the first time. I don't know how he did it with three little girls, trying to teach them, how to ski. But ever since he taught us, we've just kind of loved it, and it's something we do as a whole family. We typically go up to Hidden Valley or Seven Springs and ski, but we've been to New York, like in the New York area, and Wisp, and other places too. So this is my favorite toy growing up. It's my Dumbo stuffed animal. When I was about 3, we went to Disney World, and this is what I picked out. And he has been with me ever since, as you can see. He even added a little to his outfit here. He has a little leash. But right, it was just something that was comfort for me growing up. Anytime we left the house, Dumbo came with us, especially when I had to go to the doctors or appointments. I'm sure Dumbo got his checkups too. And then, right, my mom would have to sneak him away once in a while and try to clean him up a little bit too. But he's been through it all with me, and so happy he's still here so I can share him with my daughter as well too. We love to travel. That's one of my things, my hobbies. Specifically love to go to St. Thomas, and right by St. Thomas is St. John's, and this is where this picture was taken. This is our favorite beach. It's called Trunk Bay, and I took this photo myself from an overlook looking down onto the beach. All right, but you can see it's just gorgeous. Postcard picture. I actually believe it may have been one of the top 10 beaches in the world, but crystal clear water, the greenery, it's beautiful. If you're having a bad day, just picture yourself here at Trunk Bay in St. John's. Of course, I had to bring a terrible towel. Growing up in Pittsburgh, of course, I'm a huge Steelers fan. And actually, too, with this is how my husband and we met, was through the Steelers. In college, we were introduced through our roommates because of the fact that we were both Steeler fans. And of course, we hit it off. The rest is history, and we love, to go down and tailgate and cheer on the Steelers. And our daughter's, of course, already being brought up as a little Steeler fan. So I always had an interest in medicine. So I, figured I wanted to do something in that field, but I wasn't 100% sure. And then I had a neighbor who worked as a nurse at St. Clair Emergency Room, and she suggested kind of to come and shadow, and I went and shadowed a physician assistant who was great and really enjoyed it. And then I shadowed a couple more physician assistants, and with that I seemed like something I liked, still had time for a family. So with that decision, I decided, well, this kind of seems like the career path, that I want to go. So then when I went to college, though, wasn't completely set. I majored in biology to kind of leave it open in case I changed my mind, but still did some shadowing through that time. And then after graduating from undergrad, applied to physician assistant programs. So the best thing, of course, about pediatrics is the kids. There's lots of areas in medicine which are rewarding, but I just find that working with kids is the most rewarding. Seeing them smile and seeing them grow is really why I love being in pediatrics. When I graduated 5 years ago, I remember my first kind of set of newborns that I saw, and then it's been a little over 5 years now that I got to see them go to kindergarten. So I just think it's amazing to be able to see them at that point of their life develop, crawling, walking, talking, and then, going to school. So it makes it fun. It makes every day happy. Well, I decided on pediatrics.